like I'm nothing, like I'm a loser, like I'm less of a man, I'm a terrible husband, that I'm something that under no circumstances do I want to be. Hi everybody, Steve Halley here with the Family Peace Initiative, and welcome to the September edition of the Facilitators Tool Chest blog, where I just try each month to put out something that is thought-provoking, hopefully helping all of us to become better at our craft so that maybe we can become more effective at intervening with domestic violence. Today I want to talk about domestic violence and shame. We do a lot of conversations around the world talking about interventions with those who batter and intervening with them about their entitlement views and intervening about their behavior that is expressing inequality among the genders, and talking about their beliefs and attitudes and how those beliefs and attitudes that we carry can dictate how we treat others. And all those things are valuable when you're trying to intervene. But what I want to talk to you about is the shame of those who batter. Family Peace Initiative has kind of a motto that the cruelty that people use is evidence of unresolved cruelty in ourselves, right? So that if I'm cruel toward Dorothy, it's just evidence of stuff that's not been healed in my own history. And many times what's happened to us in our history is shameful. Brene Brown talks about this. Shame is this feeling that I am bad, that there's something wrong with me, that I am flawed. And that dovetails so nicely with the shadow message that Carl Jung originally talked about in the 1900s. These shadow messages that we carry about ourselves, that I'm worthless, I'm no good, I'm a piece of shit, I am nothing, I'm invaluable, I'm invisible. We have these carried around in our life, and what's making sense to me lately is that the shadow message is the doorway to shame. And the shadow message is identifiable in almost every act of cruelty in relationships. It's really remarkable. Whenever we are doing some type of an examination of someone's behavior, of a situation, it is very easy to identify the message that they were receiving. My partner was cheating on me. My partner was yelling at me. My partner wouldn't let me see the kids. My partner spent all the money. My partner, whatever my partner was doing, right? I felt this justification to be cruel and abusive to them. And when we ask people in the middle of these conversations, what did it feel like your partner was saying about you, right? What did it feel like your partner's complaint about you not taking out the trash, or the complaint that you don't come home on time, or the complaint that you're spending too much money? What did it feel like the partner was saying about you? It's easy for the guys to say, like I'm nothing, like I'm a loser, like I'm less of a man, I'm a terrible husband, that I'm something that under no circumstances do I want to be. That's the shadow message, and that's the doorway to shame. And what's even more interesting is that when our shame gets activated, when I start getting a message that activates my shadow message, that I'm nothing, that I'm weak, that I'm inferior, that I'm stupid, whatever it might be, if I'm not emotionally mature enough to recognize that activation and be centered about it and let it pass so that I can continue in whatever the interaction is. One of the easiest ways for me to get away from feeling that is to give it away to others, just like handing off a football. I don't want to carry this football because some big linebacker is going to tackle me, so here, you take it. All right, hand it off. It's the same with our shadow message. I don't want to feel weak. I don't want to feel inferior. I don't want to feel like I'm nothing. So here, let me have you feel like you're inferior, weak, or nothing. And as people become more emotionally mature, they do this less. They don't have to hand off their adverse feelings or shameful feelings or shadow messages. They don't have to hand them off to other people because they can recognize them as a part of themselves, and we can evaluate, how long it's going to take for our body to be able to, regulate, and so that the shadow message no longer dominates our thinking. It's really interesting this way. And every time that you're talking with a participant in your group about their cruelty that they used, you can turn it into a conversation about their own shame. Right? The next question, of course, once they go, oh, well, the message to me, it felt like my partner was telling me that I was nothing. Well, the next step is just to say, wow, I'm sure that's not the first time you've ever felt that. You remember the first time, probably before puberty, when you felt like you were nothing? Who was the person in your life who gave you that message? Now they're in their shame story. We call it a shadow story, but it's about the shame of I'm bad, I'm not okay, something's wrong with me. And they tell you, oh yeah, my stepdad, oh yeah, my mom, oh yeah, my older brother, oh yeah, my neighbor, oh yeah. And the story's on. And now they're into a part of their story, their shame story, their shadow story, that they tend to avoid, deny, repress, ignore. And as they get into that part of their story, they're becoming less afraid of themselves and more mature. They're more able to manage those adverse feelings that are activated in relationships. All right. And so what I want you to know is that a really good program, has conversations about gender equality and addresses that issue, and has conversations about beliefs and attitudes, because those are important. But they're also talking and looking for opportunities to access the shame conversation, helping people become less afraid of themselves, helping people recognize that shame that we all carry, right? It's all a part of our lives and our existence. But just because we carry it doesn't mean we have to be afraid of it. It's a part of ourselves. And as we become more comfortable with all parts of ourselves, we become safer to those around us. And so if you don't have much of a shame component in your program, I would encourage you to kind of examine how you might be able to plug it in. And we do it very simply. It's a kind of a regular, almost every week conversation. Somewhere along the line, we're going to be getting into a shadow message conversation, which is right there at the doorway, the precipice of the shame. And if we can connect the shame to people's behavior, people start recognizing that they don't have to give away their shadow messages just because they're feeling something that they've never learned how to be okay feeling. So I would encourage you to give that a try. What did it feel like your partner was saying about you when they did that thing? And I'm guessing that's not the first time you got that message. Where was the first time that came for you? Probably before puberty. Then you're in the shame story, and transformational change is happening right in front of your eyes. I will see you again in October. And I hope you continue the great work that you're doing, and thank you for everything that you do to address domestic violence. My best to you.